Hello everyone, this is International Master John Daniel Bryant, and I'm bringing you this game that I played against Kingscrusher about 6 years ago, and I was using this account Byakugan, and I was playing anonymously, so you didn't know who I was. But anyway, let's get to the game. I was white, and he started with e4, e6, and I played the French terrace variation. And he played bishop e7. That's one of the best moves against the terrace. Yeah, here I played e takes d5, which is a sideline. The main move is e5, and interesting positions ensue. But my move is just aimed to get a simple position, avoid complications, and it allows for greater accuracy, which startled my opponent in a blitz game. He couldn't believe that someone could play this accurately. So he played queen takes d5, and after this, white is going to have a slight advantage. The correct move is e takes d5, and it's basically just a normal terrace variation where he gets an isolated queen's pawn, like this, right? But with my bishop on d3 is not that great. Usually you want to play bishop d5 check in that variation, and white gets a slight advantage. But in this case, it's just going to be totally equal. He'll have enough activity for the isolated queen's pawn. Alright, so he took with the queen. I'm very happy about that. Bishop takes c5, that was another mistake. He's moving his bishop twice in the opening. It's violating a basic principle. You shouldn't move the same piece twice. Well, but a better move would have been like knight bd7, knight c5, or knight a6, knight c5, or he could have castled first. So bishop takes c5 I consider to be a mistake. Castles, knight c6. Yeah, and I think that a6, he's kind of following up on a bad plan of, he thought he was getting his bishop to an active square, and then he wanted to make sure that it had a future staying on this diagonal, but he's just giving me more time, he's just giving me more tempo to get a big advantage against him out of the opening. So knight e4 I think is just the most natural square for my knight, and this is the most natural scheme of development. Bishop a7, I think this is another mistake because he has to take my knight on the next move, and so this would just be a waste move. Yeah, rook d1 created some vague tactical threats against him, and he decided to just liquidate the tension again. So yeah, I played bishop e3 because I thought it'd be a good idea if we trade. First of all, I'm developing my bishop, but I thought it'd be a good idea if we trade these bishops because he created a lot of light squared weaknesses when he played a6, and also once we trade these bishops, he has these weak squares. All of his dark squares are just very weak, actually. So I just took advantage of that with a simple move. Now you see the effect of him not having the bishop anymore. I just put my rook right in his position, and he also has a hard time developing this bishop, which is the main problem with his position. He would like to play e5 to get some breathing space, but if he does it immediately, I take the knight, and then I take the pawn with my knight, or my queen. So f6 to prepare e5. I just double my rooks. e5. So now he got what he wanted, but and now I played this move h3 because he was trying to get his bishop out on g4, and so I prevented that. I also prevented bishop f5 because now I would have, if he played bishop f5 here, I'd have g4, And that's a fork, winning a piece. He takes, king f1.
Check.
And my king is just safe. I'm simply going to be up a piece. There's no problems for white here. So, I think... Oh, like, I discard bishop takes c6 because, well, for one thing, I have a great bind on his position, and, like, I wouldn't want to let him get out of that immediately. See, like, here he gets this, and he's going to double my pawns. So that's not very good. I guess I would go here, but...
Check.
Take. Certainly white still has an advantage, but I feel that keeping him in a bind was a bigger advantage than this would have been. So, let's continue. King h8. I guess he thought we were playing 3 checks, and he was afraid that I would give him a check. So, yeah, I guess that's what he was thinking there. So, yeah, if he left the king there, I would have played bishop takes h7, queen b3, queen g8, and I win. Okay. c3. I saw that what I wanted to do was play queen b6, but I was worried that he would play knight d4, just to show that. And as you can see, I can't take with the knight because my rook will hang here, and I thought this was kind of annoying, so that's why I played c3. And now I play queen b6. Again, I'm taking advantage of these dark squares, and it's just killing him because he can't develop the bishop here like he normally would in this pawn structure. So, but now he's able to play bishop f5, and funny, he commented in his video that he thought I was going to play g4 here, which is just an obvious blunder because after g4, take, check. My bishop, he just wins my bishop. But it's understandable that he missed this because that tactic was not available when my queen was on e3 guarding the bishop. So I just played bishop takes c6, and my plan is just to win a pawn with this move. Some might be wondering why I didn't play queen takes b8, and that's because he just takes, check, and he has this x-rayed defense. And black is still a little bit worse because of his bad pawn structure after take,
check,
rook d6, but it's not as... What I played in the game was more incisive, so... I just won some clean pawns with my continuation, which is rook d8 here. Now queen e8 is not possible. So take, queen f7, and I just take f8, check. Queen takes. Yeah, I just decide which pawn to take first here. And I decided this one because I saw that he was going to play queen d8, and I just thought, well, then queen a6, and I can come back and defend this check here. So that's the only reason. I don't really know if that's a big difference, but that was just my preference. But he went h6 here to make left for his king. So this just shows king h8 was useless earlier. I don't have anything better to do but start pushing my pawn down the board, so I think that's a pretty obvious move.
Check.
Yeah, here, okay, this is one move that may have seemed computerish, and that is that I saw that I have this tactic defending my knight. As you'll see, he didn't see that I have queen c8 check here, king h7, queen f5 check. Yeah, it's a little bit clever, but I don't think it was that outrageous for me to see that. And I spent a lot of time, so. Yeah, now the game's almost over. He can pretty much resign.
Check.
I bring my queen here because if I pushed here, it'd be like, whoops, he has this discovered check. And my queen, I'm going to lose my queen, but I go here, and then he takes here, and he has decent chances of holding this game, although I think it's probably still lost, but why would I just give him a pawn when I can get a forced promotion if I play better moves like queen
Check.
d7? So a6, e4,
Check.
g3, queen d2. Just defend. When you have an extra pawn in queen endgames, you just make your queen support your passed pawn and defend the base of your pawn chain. It's a pretty common scheme. Well, there's nothing he can do. He could have resigned for a couple moves here.
Check.
And finally here he resigned because I check him here, and after he makes any king move, then I'm going to play check and I make a queen, and he has nothing. So that's the end of the game. Hopefully I did a good job explaining it and acquitted myself of any iniquities. And you can see that this was indeed a game a human could play in a blitz game. It's a simplified opening where my opponent made some mistakes early on and allowed me to get a great position and then win material. And so that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Peace.